What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Facility Management Marketing Podcast. In this episode, we're going to be talking about something that everyone makes this mistake, and I am guilty as well too. And I'm going to tell you a few stories and examples about this. So there's a certain point where you need to just stop reading and trying to consume so much content. Okay? Now, there's a caveat to that. Don't stop consuming this content here because I'm going to keep challenging you. But in reality, though, you need to stop reading like the ebooks. You need to stop building an audience. You need to stop, creating like a content plan. And what you need to focus on is just putting in the work. And you're like, this is what the episode is about? Yeah, pretty much. What you need to work on is just like write something that's compelling. Write something that is great. Write something that might even have typos. Who cares? Publish, put something out there. Who cares if it's not perfect? All right, publish something that people are going to disagree with, that are going to be like, screw this guy, I don't agree with him or her. All right, launch something that is at the wrong time. Like, instead of you like looking to say like, hey, this is what I've been researching, we should be publishing at 4:22 on Wednesdays Eastern time. Who cares? Publish it at 12:01. I don't really care when you publish it. Just put it out there for the world. And you're like, well, you're not leveraging the opportunity of like the algorithms and all that sort of stuff. You're a big marketing genius, Javier. No, I know I'm smart. I get it. Okay, I'm not trying to brag. I'm just simply saying like I understand that. Like I understand that I'm good at this game. I'm good at this whole marketing thing. Can I get better? Hell yeah, I can get way better than what I'm doing right now. But sometimes we get so caught up in having something so perfect. We get so caught up on be like, well, it has to have this tone. It has to look like this. And we have to have this word here. We can't have this typo. And let me keep reading about this. Let me keep researching about that. And let me look about the audience about this. And let me see about the targeting on this. And let's look at our content plan. And does it fit this? And does it... Screw all that and just publish. Seriously, just publish. Don't overthink what you're currently doing. Just publish the content. Just put out the stuff that people are going to be talking about. Who cares if there's a typo in there? Who cares if it's controversial? Who cares if it's not at the right time? Who cares what other people think? Get used to putting stuff out there. So I went a season in life where I was I was consuming so much content. It was crazy. I think I went 18 to 24 months of reading physical books and listening to audiobooks. I think in that time frame, like in nearly 2 years, I think I consumed about 70 plus books. I kid you not when I say that. 70 plus books. My goal was to try to get to like, I think 60 a year, because that's roughly one a week, and that was really tough. And will I get back to that stage again? Yeah, maybe. And you're like, well, did you remember everything that you read? No, I didn't. Did you remember anything specific? I mean, I can't think of anything at the moment right now, but like all that stuff really helped shape me. But I was in a season in life where I just needed to consume a bunch of information. And then all of a sudden, like my career started shifting a little bit. Okay, like I started kind of getting into like into the space that I'm in right now, where I'm a CMO. Okay. And these books probably all kind of built up and helped me get to where I am at the moment. And so what I want to share here is that I'm not saying take 2 years and just consume and then do nothing. I'm saying like you've probably consumed enough content and enough knowledge in something that it's time for you to go out there and start publishing what's in here. You can't just take in so much and not give anything. Sorry, I need to drink some water. I'm fasting for 24 hours. So I'm trying to get in my gallon of water today before I go to bed so that I don't have to pee like 8 times before I go to bed, which has happened multiple times before. So what I want you to guys understand is that it's not wrong to consume content. It's not wrong to just be like, taking in all this information. But what's wrong is that you're doing a disservice to your audience whenever you're not trying to give. Like, think about it. If you're the person that's always asking, people get tired of that. What people don't get tired is the ones that are always giving. Okay? Like, I have probably a worthy following of some people. I don't know how many, like I've got a solid following, and you guys consume my stuff on a regular basis. And when I say guys, I mean like guys, girls, everybody, okay? I use that very like just broad, all right? But you should also be publishing and putting stuff out there and making people know who you are and being proud of it and being okay with it not being perfect. Okay, like, I mean, best example I can give here is that we publish a weekly newsletter email with our company at Ratmate. These emails, they get criticized quite a bit from our CEO. I'm not knocking Chris. He's amazing. I love the guy. But he's like, it could be this and it could be that. We can improve so much about it. And I go, Chris, here's the challenge. We can make this look so perfect, but it's going to take so much time. We don't have those resources. And on top of that, our goal is to put out content out there to see what people are responding to see how people are reacting to. And he doesn't always necessarily agree with that approach. But the thing is that I'm trying to create a baseline, a data baseline, all right, that says, hey, we've sent out these many emails and this is what it's returned so far. And this is what we're starting to see. And we're seeing a trend in this. But we can't do that whenever we're like, it has to be perfect. It has to be perfect. It has to be perfect. Because perfect could be 2 days and perfect could be 2 weeks and perfect could be 2 months. And you're like, well, at least it's perfect when it went out. Great. And what about the other times when it wasn't perfect, where you could have shown that you were human and relatable, and you could have placed yourself as the authority and as the leader and the person that, that everyone knows that you know everything about this topic? What about those moments that you missed out on? That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? Like, here's the thing. In football, you have sketched out plans. Like, you have hey, this is what we're going to run up for our first 20 plays, no matter what. We know the defense is going to do this. This is what we're doing the first 15 or 20 plays, no matter what. Okay? You sketch those out. You run those plays. Hell or high water, you're just doing them. And then you start adjusting based on the game plan that you created. Now, there are always going to be things that happen. Someone makes a block. That's not good. Someone breaks a block that gets in and stuffs something or gets to the quarterback or whatever that is. But if you don't just execute, and you're like, well, it has to be perfect, then you'll never win. You'll never find an opportunity of winning. There's a saying here that people are afraid of losing money than earning money. People are more afraid of losing what they have than gaining something in the future. That's true. Think about this. If you go to Vegas, the people that are hesitant to gamble are the ones that are afraid of losing something. I'm guilty of that. Guess what I don't do in Vegas? I don't gamble. Do I gamble every now and then? I'm like, yeah, but I'll $100, couple $100, if that. I do it more for the free drinks. That's about it. But more people are afraid of losing something than gaining something. And that's why they don't put anything out there, because they're like, well, I could lose something. And here's the thing. As a former professional athlete, you will never be successful if you're afraid of losing something. So people, whenever I would teach kids how to spar, and even adults, they're like, well, I don't want to get hit because I'll lose a point. I'm like, no. If you don't try to hit it, you don't have a chance of winning. You will lose, period. Okay? So you need to be on the offensive. And so where I'm coming from is that you need to get used to just publishing and putting content out there. You need to put things out there that people are going to be consuming, whether it's right or wrong, whether it's, whether it doesn't matter. You need to be publishing on a regular basis. And I'm doing this with these podcasts. I've got episodes that are 8, 9, 10 minutes long. Right now I'm looking at this. We're just over 9 minutes. I probably have another 3 or 4 minutes, if that. Okay. And I've got episodes that are 55 minutes long. Okay. Where I'm coming from is that I showed up and I published and I shared my knowledge and I'm giving my perspective and I'm helping the industry grow. And I know that I probably curse on here and shouldn't say that. And I've said a few things that are probably a little offensive and people are like, I'm turned off by you, Javier. And that's fine. I don't care. But at least you know who I am. Okay. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to point out here, is that a lot of times we get caught up with what other people think or what other people might think, and we don't put ourselves out there so they can't learn about you. Okay? I became the number one fighter in the world in sport karate, not because I was afraid of losing, it's because I had nothing to lose. I went out there giving it my all with the purpose of winning. And so, like, I can explain this is that I consumed a whole bunch of martial arts knowledge. I started karate at 10. I started competing at 14. I mean, I was competing like at like these little local like little tournaments that our school would have like every year. But it was like 2 or 3 tournaments and it wasn't big. And I was doing okay, but then I started competing like at a higher competitive level at like 14, maybe 15, okay? So I consumed a whole bunch of knowledge for 4 years. And me going out and not competing, me not going out and competing was essentially not, it was essentially like me not wanting to like get hurt or like not make a typo or not make a mistake or not lose. You see what I'm saying? Me going out and competing is me showing the world what my knowledge has actually turned into. Now, I lost a lot at the beginning, a ton. And then I started getting good, started winning a little bit, or started winning a couple matches here and there, and then lose at another match, and then and there was these ebbs and flows. And then I started getting consistent. And then I started changing my training. And then I started getting people like, man, this guy is good. He shows up all the time. And went from me consuming knowledge to me sharing the beauty of what I've created. And that's what you're trying to do. So stop trying to have everything look so perfect and just put something out there and let the art work for itself. Okay? So as a facility company, if you're like the marketing manager, start putting stuff out there. If you're the salesperson, if you're the AE, the sales manager, whatever, the director of sales, the VP of sales, whatever it is, get your team out there. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just go out there. Okay? So I hope this gave you enough motivation to actually like produce and do stuff and publish. Because if you start doing that, you get heard and everybody else doesn't. Okay? All right, so 3 things at the end of my episodes I always ask. Number 1 is please give us a 5-star review on either Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Number 2, please share this podcast by either sending in a DM or a text message to a colleague or a friend that you think that might find this very valuable. And number 3, connect with me on LinkedIn. You can find me on linkedin.com/in/Javier Lozano Jr. I get a lot of folks asking me questions and saying, hey, what are your thoughts about this? Or I heard about this strategy. Can you elaborate more about this? Or what are your, what are you planning to do in 2023 or whatever that is? I get a lot of people asking me all sorts of questions and I engage. So if you get a question, send me something and I'm happy to engage with you and essentially answer your questions and hopefully it helps you with your goals for your business coming up here in 2023. Because as we speak right now, we're like 6 weeks away from 2023, which is insane. All right, have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to everybody later.